Hello, fellow humans. Chris here again. Today I wanted to follow up on my last video. You may have been able to tell I was pretty tired, really tired actually. I was up a little past my bedtime, and I just kind of spur of the moment decided to do this video, and I just wanted to follow up on it because, for one thing, normally I don't really respond to comments like that. And as Bo the Fifth Column says, just don't read your comments. But the thing is, I don't have quite the following that he does, so he can't read all his comments. But I unfortunately can, and I'm not self-sustaining enough as a channel to not recognize that there's a certain benefit to engaging with comments. It's good for the algorithms, as they say. That being said, I do moderate comments because occasionally I'll get things from people like that, and much worse. I've had much worse that I've taken down because again, I'm my whole thing here is supposed to be about respectful discourse, and difference of opinion is great. I welcome it. I welcome, people questioning me, just like I'm always saying to question the consensus. But I'm not a fan or impressed of the pointless insults, especially when it's from people who, they would not have the nerve to say that to my face. But for some reason, when you're behind the safety of a screen, you feel like I can just say whatever I want and it doesn't matter. Anyway, I don't even want to address that part of the comment. What I wanted to go back to was watching that video. I realized I was pretty visibly tired. But the one thing that I didn't really touch on was the part of the comment that was, "You don't know anybody with COVID." And I guess the implication there is that I guess giving him the benefit of the doubt in the worst or in the best interpretation of that is that I don't know anybody with COVID. Um, Therefore, it's very likely that the whole thing is fabricated by the government, by the media, whatever. And I say that's the better case interpretation, to me anyway, because the other one would be, if it doesn't affect me, I'm not worried about it. I don't have a brother that has COVID, or an aunt, or a friend whose wife died of COVID, or a respiratory therapist in my family who's personally sat at the bedside of people dying of COVID. I don't have any of that, so therefore, why should I care? So that's sort of the negative or the worst interpretation of it. So just want to touch on that really quick. You don't need to know somebody in order to care about a certain issue. I don't have anybody that's been killed in a school shooting. I don't have anybody that's died of a home invasion or been raped. But these are issues that I care about. That if I had the ability to have a hand in helping the collective improve on these issues, I would do it. So the idea that you don't know anybody with COVID, so that means I'm like full of shit, or that I'm just speaking to try to get attention from my 100 something subscribers. I'm not sure what the implication there is. Um, I guess best case scenario is that I'm just being a sheep because I'm going along with this message that doesn't have any merit to it. I don't know. it's all kind of confusing to me. But I just wanted to touch on that part about it, and something that I said at the very beginning of this pandemic was, to try to help if there's people out there that are struggling with the idea of empathy for whatever reason. I'm healthy, I'm young, I can afford to get COVID. I'd probably be okay. So, why the hell should I wear a mask? Why should I bother getting vaccinated? Again, ignoring the myriad of reasons why you should do those things, of which I've talked about many times, not least of which is for our kids who can't get vaccinated yet. Take all that away, you probably have some kind of personal experience of a hardship, something that you went through that was difficult for you, maybe tragic for whatever reason, something that you struggled with, and something that you wouldn't wish upon anybody else. You can take that experience and you can project it onto an entirely different experience that has a similar effect or result. So I personally might not have lost anybody to COVID, but I've lost people to cancer. I've lost multiple family members to suicide. I've lost my firstborn child. I can kind of use those experiences of grief and trauma and imagine what it would be like for somebody to lose a loved one to COVID, particularly when it was something that could have been prevented by the collective, us, doing our part to try to help mitigate those risks. So anyway, just something to think about. I'll be catching up with you guys again really soon. Hopefully, next round of comments are back to the more positive. Thank you to Feral Human for spearheading those positive comments. And I will be talking to you guys again really soon. Have a great rest of your day. Remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus. And be well, everybody.